Don't call me Michael Vick, but that is happening at Highland Cycles. Welcome back to the weekly Shlog, guys. I'm Morgan. This is Highland Cycles. There's Angry Zach over there. That's Leia and Leroy in the background. Leandra's up front actually doing work, keeping us busy. And this is our little shop vlog in Western Colorado where we show you all kinds of cool dirt bike stuff. From changing oil to cleaning air filters to rebuilding motors, doing fork seals, all that good stuff. If that sounds awesome, consider subscribing and sharing this with a friend. But more importantly, stick with us. Here we go. Alright guys, it's the beginning of a new week. If you haven't watched my top 10 things I hate in dirt biking or top whatever, that video that's kind of going nuts right now, you need to make a comment and get mad and angry and all that good stuff because it's a lot of fun. I have to give a huge shout out to Ben from the Huge Fly Fisherman. He is the inspiration for the new series slash character slash whatever I'm going to be doing as the Huge Dirt Biker, because it's a ton of fun and it's clearly gotten people fired up and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So by the way, comment below if you like that video, whether you agree with me or don't agree with me, if you like that kind of format of video, because it seems like a lot of people do, so I'm stoked. Anyway, first on the list for me is some tire changing using that Rabiconda for Mr. Garrett Anderson. We're installing some X31s for him. By the way, the X31 video, it will have, it's already going to be out. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. It's the Shady Burrow recap video where I talk about how much I like the X31s. Spoiler alert, I like them a lot. Anyway, I'm going to change these tires and then we'll get to real work. Cool bike on the lift, guys. 1985 RZ350. If you know, you know. These things are rad. This one is especially rad because it's really clean. It does not have the cowl on it because he took it off because it had some cracks in it and he wants to get it fixed and make it nice. So it's off. It hasn't been on for a while. He rides this bike actually quite a bit. Not just tons and tons of miles, but he does ride it every year. Kind of commutes around on it, just rides it around. Does take it up and hammers the mountains every now and then. All I'm doing on it is trying to figure out where it's leaking some two-stroke injector oil from. So I think I've already figured it out. But hold on, let's just take a moment to look at this beautiful piece of machinery. Yeah, it's that good. I think I figured it out because it looks like it was wet on top up here. And I think what's happened is our little oil light sensor is leaking and or this hose. So I think what we're going to try to do is get, because this is low. Like if you fill this up to the top, this is actually under oil. Alright guys, so as I was saying, when this is full, this is actually below the level. And you can even see it's kind of just riding up a little bit. And if you push it down, it's okay, but it kind of easy to ride up. See, there we go. Doesn't take much to push it up. So I ordered another one of those, but then the other thing I noticed is I had this is the oil line from the tank to the oil pump. And it's got some imperfections. Like, there we go. It's hard to see. Anyway, there's a couple places that look like it might have been leaking, so put a new one of those. Just some Motion Pro high-end fuel line will work really good for that oil. It's just petroleum resistant, so we got that all done. And now we're just waiting on that little oil level gauge, and then this thing will be ready. He's asked me to ride this thing for him because He thinks maybe the power valves aren't quite working right. They seem to be pretty good, but maybe not quite on. So make sure you guys subscribe, because when that thing shows up, I'm going to be taking this for a test ride, and it will bring you guys along because it's going to be a ton of fun. Guys, Leandra got a new weapon. She is now the bug assaultist of the shop. So this could be, I think she, what do you guys think? Should she just shoot Zach most of the time? Because I think that just fire a round, just shoot one out, just aim it, just go. There we go.
Jesus, that went awkward.
Yes.
Does that hit you?
Yes. Yes. So stoked.
That.
Guys, we have one bug assault. We might need more than one bug assault. If anyone wants to donate an extra bug assault or two, we might have bug assault battles. We could definitely have a few, put our safety glasses on so we don't blind each other, and then just bug assault the crap out of things. What do you guys think? Also, guys, I am wearing this new microphone, which right here, I'm pretty excited about it. Let me know what you think. I'm going to be wearing this the rest of this Shlog, so I'd love to hear from you guys what your thoughts are. I'm going to try something here. So way over here, and let me know how this sounds to you guys on the screen. I think it's working. I think it's all working together. So let me know. Yeah, now I got to get back to work. All right, guys. So next on the list actually is this lovely 2021, I think, 250F. What year is this? 21, 20, somewhere. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to be checking the valves. So I'm actually going to film an in-depth video on that for you guys because I don't think I've done one on one of the new KTMs. I don't know. Anyway, I think it's just going to be a check. Shouldn't be an actual adjustment because it seems to run really good. I don't know how many hours are on it. It doesn't have just a whole bunch of hours. So anyway, going to do that. First thing, though, I have to do is I got to put grips on this 100. And I'm not going to show you everything about that, but I will show you, it's weird. So lock-on grips are my favorite grips. I love them. Pro Taper, ODI, whatever. They're all good. Problem is that on the smaller Kawasaki, so the mini bike Kawasaki's 100s and below, they use a funky throttle cam. And it's a throttle cam that does not come with the Pro Taper grips, and it definitely doesn't come with the ODIs either. But you can buy it from ODI. So I got one of those because this throttle cam, this is the stock one, comes off, but this system here, there we go, focus, this won't fit onto any other normal lock-on grips. So yeah, anyway, just a quick note for you guys. If you have a KX100, 85, 65, they all have that throttle cam, and you have to buy it separately, special from ODI if you're going to put lock-on grips. So anyway, I'm going to put you guys down, and then we'll get after that KTM. While I was filming this, I got a call from my buddy Brian, or Woody at Seat Time, who we've been collaborating with. We just got done doing his suspension before the Shady Burrow. He took it to the Shady Burrow. Wasn't super happy with it, but also was completely out of his element with the number of rocks and all that good stuff. So he wanted to know what some clicker settings were, and so I talked to him. Anyway, this conversation I had, it was a pretty long conversation. It was like 15, 20 minutes. I just put a couple little spots in here so you guys could hear how I was talking to him. And it's some funny stuff too. But if you guys are interested, comment below if you want to hear the whole conversation. I missed the first part, unfortunately. I didn't have the camera running, but I do have a whole lot of stuff talking about suspension, things like that. Let me know if you guys want that as another video. We'll go through the whole, I'll just post the whole conversation. It seems pretty good. I think it's pretty informative. Click out on a thing. That's actually speeding up the suspension, or how fast it moves. As you click in, it's slowing it down.
Right, that's like how the oil can move through it, right? Like
right. You are when you're turning the clicker in, you're closing a bypass, so you're making the oil work harder to get through the valving. And so, like I said, I hate hard and soft. It's not really a good representation of what you're doing. Slow and fast is much better. So if I ever build my own suspension components, I'm gonna I'm going to change up those letters. The H and S is going to go to S and F. So anyway, when we build suspension, we send it back. We usually set it on the softer or faster side because that gives people a lot of adjustment in. Actually, what's happening is you're blowing through the stroke too quickly and hitting that the more of the mid valve, which is not good. So like that makes it really harsh. So it's slamming through the first part of the stroke and hitting up into the upper part, and it just feels terrible.
One of two things. I could, maybe it's a suspension thing, or maybe I just need to have more testicular fortitude and twist the throttle.
That would help. More testicular fortitude, more, as I like to say, turning your smart part of your brain off. And going faster to solve the problem. All right, guys, we got the top off of the motor, and let me show you guys something. So we could lock this thing at top dead center, and if we have to adjust them, we absolutely will. But let me show you. I've shown lots of people this on lots of videos, but it always bears repeating. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this motor until like that. Now, I don't know yet if that's top dead center, but I can see that this cam lobe is up, this cam lobe is up. That means they're all up. So there's pressure is off of the valves. Now, that's what you need. That's all you need, is you need pressure off of the valve. Got to show you something. So if you've watched some of the other videos, or at least one of the other videos, you'll know some of my feelings about Sherco. I think in general, riding them is pretty awesome. The ones I've ridden actually off-road have been like for real rides, not just around here, have been really good, really comfortable feeling. I like the chassis, I like the suspension. Motor feels really, really good, really, really smooth. There's a lot I like, but there's some fit and finish issues that I don't love. I don't love the fact that the battery is underneath the air filter down in whatever. That's weird. I don't like this attachment. It's no big deal. I know you guys are gonna yell at me. Someone's yelling at me, whatever, about things. But I do have something to show you that I really don't like, and I think Sherco needs to fix. So if you look here at the foot peg, you can see this ridge right there, right? So that is a separate piece. Is it, Zach, do you still have that piece, or did I lose it? That sounds like something I would do. Look, there's Sheetsy Poo. Everybody. I think I lost this part, so I'm gonna find that. I took a picture of it, and I thought I set it back down here. Hang on, let me see if I can find the part. So if you look at that little thing, you'll see it's a separate piece that is... All right, well, it doesn't matter because we're missing one anyway. We might have to make a couple and have them welded because, let me show you. So that right there, it's like Sherco, they built the bike and they drilled these holes in the frame, the peg mounts for the frame, and it was like too big, so they put an insert in, and maybe it's harder steel or something like that. I guess that would make sense, sort of, kind of. But what happened is this one and the other one rattled loose and popped out, causing the foot pegs to totally suck, because with that, lack of, or, too much tolerance, this thing could wiggle like that, made the peg hang down. I mean, obviously this is super exaggerated because there's no pin in it. And you can't buy that part. We were missing one. The cotter pin fell out of one, and it's who knows where in western Colorado. The other one Zach found, I promptly lost. I'm sure, whatever, I'll find it, but it doesn't really matter. We're gonna have to make a couple more. So that's not cool, guys. And actually, that goes to KTM. I don't like the fact that the peg mounts are welded to the frame anyway, because I've wallowed the holes out on my KTMs before. If you keep them long enough, you will. That's why Lance at XC Gear sells a little bit bigger pins. They fit better. But So I don't like that. I like the fact that Yamaha has them bolt on, Honda has them bolted on, and those are the aluminum frame, but you could do it with the steel frame too, it'd be no problem. Yeah, I don't love that about Sherco's, guys. It's one of the things. I mean, again, I generally like the motorcycle quite a bit. There's just some things that, I don't know, it'd be cool if they fixed them, and if they do fix some of these things, you might end up seeing me on a Sherco eventually. So we're going to find that little part, see if we can't replicate it, and yeah, I don't even know exactly what we're going to do because I don't have a machine shop, but we do have one in town. We might be able to make a couple of those things. So anyway, all right, guys, I found it. There's the piece that rattled out of that foot peg. Let me show you again real fast now that I have this thing. Sorry I'm harping on this. It's not because I think it's a fatal flaw, but it's not that cool. So this piece goes up in there to help, you know, take up the space, and I don't know why they did it. I really don't know. It doesn't make sense unless this is a harder steel, but then that would obviously make it tougher to weld to the more mild steel. So anyway, it also looks like if you look at this one, they've got welds here and here. So there's 2 tack welds holding that thing in place. This one looks like there was only one right here, and it broke. And like I said, the other one's missing. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to make a couple of these, and then we'll get this thing back together. So I think what we're gonna have to do is make a part here. I could go to the machine shop, have them replicate this. It's gonna take a long time and probably cost a fair amount. So I found this nut thing. I don't even know what it is. It's got one side and that side. Anyway, whatever. It's weird, but I think I can make this work because it's not right. So it's I think I can shave it down on the outside. I can definitely drill out the inside, and we can make it right. And then we'll have my buddy come over. We'll grind all this powder coat off and tack these things in place. Zach has a welder. Zach is learning how to weld. He's not a professional welder by any means yet, but we have a good friend of ours, G-Love, who he can come out and use Zach's welder and buzz these things on there so they don't leave. I think that's going to be our best bet. So I'm going to start by chalking this thing up in the vise and getting the right hole drilled in this part of it. And what I'm going to do is, the way I see it, and maybe you guys come up with a better way to do this. Again, if I had a lathe, that would be the way to do it, but I don't. But the way I see it is I'm going to drill a hole that's the right size in it first, and then that's because it's weird. This thing has a bigger hole on this side than this side. I have no idea what this is for. I'm going to drill a hole quite a ways, maybe all the way, I don't know, whatever, down far enough to make a piece that thick. Then I'm going to use my vice grips or something to hold this thing. I'm going to take it over to the bench grinder. I'm going to rotate this around to make it small enough to fit in. I'm not going to put a lip on it because I don't need to put a lip on it because we can still just tack it the way it is. I think what I'm going to do is leave it a little long so it goes in there, sticks out a little bit. We can tack it on the edges, and then we can take the grinder back in there, die grinder with a cutoff wheel, and make it nice and smooth. All right, guys, I found a different nut that was a little softer. I was able to drill it out. It's a little narrow. It's going to be a little bit harder to get it round, but I think we'll be good. So check it out. Here's the foot peg pin. Here's a normal one. It doesn't fit perfectly. That's okay. Here's this one. Fits about the same, maybe a little bit tighter, so that's good. Now it is the job to make this outside diameter, which is going to take me a while on the bench grinder. So I'll be back when I get this close. All right, guys. I think I got her. It's at least close enough since we're going to be... the hole is all jacked up anyway, so I think we're going to be able to push that up in there, weld it, like tack it, and then take a grinder to it. Let's go see on the bike. And look at me. I'm wearing safety glasses. I know all of you would be so impressed. Oh, there we go. All right. So we got to take a little more off. Narrow this down a little bit. And we'll come back and try it again. Oh, we are getting close. That actually might work. Gonna get Zach to grind this powder coat off here on both sides, and then we'll see if I can actually get that thing in there, because if it takes a little bit of force to kind of press it up in there with some channel locks, that'll be better than if it just kind of slides in. All right, guys, so got the powder coat ground off, got my pliers, wrenches. Let's see if we can't make this thing work. Got Zach over there doing who knows what.
More or less, yeah. I'm just trying to figure out which.
Boom, there we go. Let's see that foot peg pin. Now, slides. This is the OE down here. A lot less. So even that is a little bit less than stock, but that's going to work great. Now, see, we have just a little bit overhanging, which is that actually might just work. We might leave that, just put a cotter pin. No, focus. Focus. God, I hate this thing. There we go.
On ladies and diggers bars.
Have Gary come in and tack that in. Like I said, we got the powder coat all ground off, so tack that sucker on and we'll be good. So, and the other side, I'm just going to grind that thing, get the bare steel on both sides so that we can, weld that back in. But I think that's going to work. That's the difference, guys, between parts changers and actual mechanics. We actually can fix things here. All right, guys, we got the top off the KLR. Let me tell you, the hardest part of checking valves on a KLR is getting the valve cover off. If you've never done it, guys, you got to remove or at least loosen the radiator. You don't have to take the hoses off or any of the wires. Obviously, you can see it's just kind of dangling there, but you got to take it off the frame and move it out of the way. Otherwise, this big hose here will get in the way, and just anyway, it's a nightmare. I think you can actually probably do it, but it's a fight. So it's 3 bolts, comes out of the way really fast. And then to get the valve cover off, you come up and you come up with it this way, and then you just go as far up like this and out the top. You cannot go off the other way. You can't go forward or back, whatever. It's got to come straight out and off. So anyway, let's check these valves. They're supposed to be, I believe, 8 and 10. Checked exhausts, 8s go and 6s go in the intake. So actually, that's within spec. It's a little on the tighter side of spec, but that's within spec. So actually, I'm going to leave it. This guy just bought the bike. He kind of wants just a quick overall check, make sure everything is good. He's going to ride the heck out of it. It's got 30-something thousand miles, I think. Let me see. Hang on. Oh, no, excuse me, 17,000 miles. So I think these are going to be good. They're 6 and 8. That's what I set all the little bikes at, and they get way hotter usually than these. So I'm just going to go with 6 and 8 on these. I think it'll be just fine. I just looked, it was online that I looked at, Googled that, and found the 8 and 10. 8 and 10 seem high to me, honestly, even for a 650. So yeah, anyway, we're going to leave him 6 and 8. That's plenty of clearance. It runs fine. He's got 0 complaints about the way it runs. So definitely going to leave it there. Now I got to fix his kickstand. I think I'll pull you guys in on that, because I think I got a good way to fix that. It's loose, and then make sure I tighten this top nut on the triple clamp. You said that came loose on him. The kickstand, though, is like super crazy, and I think I have an idea how to fix that. I'm going to button this motor back up, and then we'll pull that thing off and take a look. Kickstand off. So this is the problem. No big deal, though. This piece is for the switch, I think. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's for the switch, the side stand safety switch, which hasn't been connected on this bike in who knows how long. So I think I don't know if I'm going to grind that off. I might just take it off, because it's just all jacked up and busted, and I don't think it's ever going to work again. So and he didn't seem to have a problem with it. So what we're going to do is I think I'll grind that off, clean this up, and then I'm going to squeeze this back, and that should help this thing be a lot better. All right, guys, so I just bent it back. I left this on, just used the vise to bend it, but I started noticing, I don't know if you guys can see, hang on. I don't know if you guys can see right up at the top there, a little crack developing from me pushing it back. So I think I'm going to try to stop there. We'll see how this fits. Hopefully it's a lot better. Otherwise, we're going to have to get a new kickstand. I don't think these are terribly expensive. But yeah, let's see how that works. All right, guys, got her on there. Spring hook back up. Much better. You know, it bends a little bit, but that is normal. It's never, these things brand new do a little bit of that. So I think that is going to be way better for him. So that's awesome. Got that steering stem or triple clamp nut tightened up, so I think we're good. I think this killer is ready to roll. All right, guys, got something to show you over here. Mr. Sheets, working on a 2014 KTM something, 300 probably, 300, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a big two-stroke. Having problems with first gear, slipping. Guy thought it was, I think he hoped, let's say he hoped, it was the clutch. It was not the clutch. So obviously, when you see things like this, this is bad. This is the first gear cog. You can see, there we go. It's not fully engaging very well. You can see the gear that it meshes with. Definitely rounded off. I can take a look here. See some kind of funky wear, honestly, here. Focus. There we go. A funky wear in that groove on the shift drum, which is kind of interesting. And then we have our shift fork over here, which, guys, I know that a lot of people, I mean, sometimes when you take these things apart, the shift fork is so clearly bent, it's obvious. These really aren't until you look at that, and you can see the extra wear right there. Now, wear out here on the edges, that's normal. That's going to happen because that's the part that touches the gears and moves it, but that should not wear down in there. So this thing definitely bent, definitely not engaging first gear all that well. I talked to the customer yesterday to explain that, and he asked you know, what would cause that, and I had to break it to him that it is generally user error. Rarely do transmissions just foul up by themselves. These days, modern motorcycles, they're pretty stinking strong. So it doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. But anyway, yeah, a lot of times it's shifting without the clutch, which is fine to do as long as you time the RPMs or you back off the gas, you know, unload the training a little bit to then shift, or if you use the clutch and you, whatever. But yeah, if you're a little too hard on it or come off of a jump and accidentally slam first with your foot as you're coming off, bike's wide open or something like that, that can cause it too. So anyway, it's a bummer. We'll get that thing fixed. He'll be good to go. Hey guys, so got the exhaust all on. I don't know if I showed you that. Anyway, turned out pretty good. Fit all nice as it should because it's brand new. Yeah, that all fit, no big deal. But I was excited because I was able to talk the gentleman into a new chain and sprockets, front and rear. Very happy about that. DDC rear sprocket. It's a, what is it, Bike Master O-ring chain, and then a Pro Taper front sprocket. All over the place. But the DDC is the important part. Those are the best sprockets you can possibly buy. They're expensive, about 110 bucks, but worth every penny because they last forever. I had one last 500 hours on a 300. I can't believe it. So anyway, they're amazing. Also replaced the camshaft seal. That's why that's so dirty. We'll do a lot of cleaning on this once we get done. All right, guys. So I need you to comment what you guys think about the sound quality. Especially right now, it should be a little bit different than it was. I've been playing with this thing watching some stuff at home, trying to get it dialed in. I think these mics are going to be awesome when I get them set up. But let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you think. I'm definitely going to keep using them because I think they are really, really good for lots of stuff. So anyway, last thing for the Shlog, guys. It's actually going to be showing you how to do a trail repair here in the shop. Let me show you what happened here. So you can see right here, there's a little bit of an eek from my son. Ewan did this at the Shady Burrow, obviously crashed, hit, whatever. No big deal, except obviously it leaked a little bit of coolant. Fortunately, I think there's still coolant in the bike. I'll have to check that too. I ordered a hose, but the hose isn't here yet. And I had to order a hose because if you guys don't know, if you've ever tried to take a straight hose and do something like this, it doesn't work. It either kinks and it's not good. So I ordered the right hose, just not here. So I'm going to show you how we would fix this on the trail because I got to do it now because tomorrow the boys and I are going to head up into the high country and probably shoot another video of us hopefully catching a bunch of fish in the high country up over the passes around here. So yeah, let me grab the stuff. All right. So guys, this is the nitro tape, rescue tape. It's got lots of names. It's pretty cool stuff. Definitely recommend that you carry some of this stuff with you in your pack because it works really good for radiator hoses. It's got this plastic backing, and don't worry, I'll bring you guys in close to show you what it looks like, but it's not adhesive. So the plastic backing is just so it doesn't get dirty, but it's not an adhesive. It basically just sticks to itself. So I'm gonna get that off. I'm gonna start it. So this is gonna be tough, but I think we're gonna be able to do it. I did it once before. So see, I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna pull this tight and wrap this over. And like I said, when it touches itself, it'll stick, and then we can hopefully wrap it around a few more times and put that hose clamp back on it. All right, guys, you can see. So I don't have it tight here, but you can see how it's stuck to itself. I just wanted to show you that, how that works. Even though this is kind of loose here, it sticks to itself. So I'm gonna wrap that thing the rest of the way up, tighten the hose clamp down over it, and I think we should be good. We'll start it up and make sure. Also got some brake pads I gotta put on this thing. Yeah, I think that's about it for this one. All right, guys, that's the end of the week, the end of the Shlog. Thank you so much for joining me for this Shlog. It means a lot that you stick around. Punk Rock Club, you guys are my favorites, hands down. I love you more than everyone else. Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. I hope you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels, and I desperately hope that what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to work on and get out and ride your dirt bikes!